John Gernand, and I'm Music A2 on Saturday Night Live.
It's a lot, this whole thing is a lot smaller in real life than it is on TV.
Right, yeah, it's the lenses make things look bigger. It's Saturday morning, 9:21. In about 50 minutes, the house band rehearsal will start, which takes place every Saturday morning. Just before that, all the audio elements for the show will be checked between the various mix positions. Production audio first, then high level, which is videotape and audios, pre-recorded audio sources will be checked, and then we'll check our warm-up mics, mainly with front of house and fold back. And then by that time we'll be set. House band will be in place, and at 10:29:59, Sean Pelton, the drummer, will kick it off, and they'll run through their repertoire for the evening. So we have our sheets. So this is the potential songs that'll be played before the show, and then at commercial breaks. And then we'll take notes, like Ron, the baritone player, plays flute on some songs. Sometimes they'll feature a brass player downstage. We set up a mic for that. Sometimes Maddie, the guitar player, comes downstage and sings. We'll find out all that stuff and rehearse it. Eli, the music director, like the last half hour, will show up, and he'll run through what he's composed for the song for the show in terms of musical sketch material. So that takes us up until about 12:30. The basic thing with Music A2 is we're the technicians on the floor, whether it's guest band or house band, we ensure that there are clear lines from this performance area to the mix positions. So that's kind of the basic thing, that they're clear and open, because ideally we want the mixers to have control over mute. We want them to be noise-free, hum-free, and if they're not, then we have to track down what the source of that, interference is, and eliminate it. So the other thing is, once they hear all the lines are clear, the band is playing, I'll sit over there and kind of scan the band as they play. Ideally they won't stop, they'll just go from song to song. I keep my eye on the drummer, mainly to field, monitor requests. Something's too loud, something's not loud enough, that sort of thing. And communicate it with Alex, who's up at his mix position up there. Assistant director, who's in the control room, who sits next to the director and follows in the script, and calls cues, calls time, remaining time, back time, issues dealing with time, is open to Lenny and Leon, who are the musical directors of this band. And the band can hear that, can hear him, so he's giving time cues. Sometimes as we get toward the end of the show, they may reorder, they may cut something depending on time, or they'll do what's called collapsing, which is basically there may be 2 commercial segments and we're running late, so they may drop like a block of programming and collapse and combine the 2 commercial segments, for example. I mean, collapsing can mean a lot of things, but it's usually shortening the program to accommodate the commercials, because the commercials are what pay the bills. I have a cue pack, and I can hear him, and then their mics are also open and they talk. So Lenny generally deals with repertoire, and Leon usually cues the band. There's a mic stand for our purpose That's if Maddie, the guitarist, sings. We set that up for her. We have this on the, at the ready in case we need to set up that downstage horn mic. The back hallway, there are restrooms to the right, elevator bank that go to the house band's dressing rooms.
How many A2s, at least on the floor, are here on a Saturday?
Today there are 3 of us, and then there will be 3 production A2s on the floor for the show. And then there's 2 boom crews, and that's a boom operator, a driver of the cart, and a utility who pages the cables. So just on the floor, that's 12 people. 6 for the booms and 3 for audio, 3 for production. So back here, we call this the amp room because there's an ISO bin with a guitar amp in there for the house band, and there's a ISO bin for a Leslie in here. So, and this is like spare music and audio stuff.
I love that it's like not some fancy backroom thing.
Right.
For everyone, it's like
it's
real
just
pragmatic.
pretty economical. That's sort of the case, especially here at NBC, because these studios, the building was designed in anticipation of television, completed in 1932, where there wasn't really any functioning television at that time. But there was a radio network, National Broadcasting Company, so all of our studios were at one time radio studios. So this was 8/8 was sort of the showpiece. It's where Arturo Toscanini and the NBC Orchestra, RCA Orchestra, performed. It originally was a floating studio, and at the time it was built, it was the world's largest radio studio. Now it's just the largest studio in this building. This was where they had your show of shows in the 50s, and I believe Jeopardy was here in the 60s, and also famously where they had their, NBC News had their mock-up of the lunar landing in 1969.
Did you work on that?
No. No, I was 9 years old.